Cry is like bullshit, Julie. Bullshit. That's just one of the memorable lines from I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, the sequel. I'm back here with Jess and Alyssa from Horror Movie Tea to talk about the sequel. Hi guys, how's it going?
It's going. Thank you so much for having us back.
No problem.
We didn't scare you away from last time.
Back into the franchise. No, I'm barely alive. Still ticking. And let's see what damage you can do this time.
We're gonna get banned. We're the V on your podcast.
Oh.
Okay.
What V is to our podcast?
Yeah, you might have to explain that because people from my channel might not know.
Well, yeah, it's an inside joke for our horror movie tea sippers. Essentially, like V is a person that does counter everything on what we're supposed to do, and so we're for the past however many years we've threatened to ban him. But
V is a chaos gremlin.
Like. Yeah, I think he's like Dwight from The Office. Jim has to explain his existence because pretty sure his roommate thinks he's made up. Okay, so back to the review. This is the sequel, of course, and the plot is very easy to set up. 1 year from the first movie, Julie, played by Jennifer Love Hewitt, is still traumatized by the events, still being haunted, and her new friend Carla, played by R&B singer Brandy, who I referenced in the intro there, win a holiday to a deserted island in the Bahamas. Now, they're supposed to go with Carla's boyfriend, Tyrell, who does go. He's a bit of a charmer. And also with Julie's boyfriend, Ray, Freddie Prinze Jr., who also comes back from the first film. And initially, because Julie doesn't think Ray's going to come, she goes with this guy who she's been hanging around with at college, who's sort of become an on-off love connection to her. And the whole horror thing takes place on this island. With Alyssa this time, if you want to sum up some of your early thoughts. Yeah.
It's like, on the one hand, I will say it's like the first movie, of course, is better than the sequel. But I will say, I remember in our last video, we commented how the previous characters were like really boring. And it was really like Sarah Michelle Gellar and Jennifer Love Hewitt that like really stuck out as characters. I will say in the sequel, I feel like the characters stuck out a little bit easier this time around. They had more differentiating personalities, very interesting personalities. I mean, nothing like it still was like cookie cutter, like horror movie, like stereotypes that you see. But I at least found myself like enjoying these characters a little bit more. But it's like, they do repeat some things that came from the first one, like, the trauma that Jennifer Love Hewitt has, some of like the kills and setups, and that kind of feels, it did feel very like lackluster compared to the first one. But yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag because it's like there are things that I like that they did with this movie, but it still doesn't compare to the setup and how they did it with the first one. But I did find it funny though how like they explained the last scene of the first movie. It was a dream, I thought that was funny. But and of course we have to like mention that was not expecting the Jack Black cameo because I don't think, at least I don't remember ever seeing the second one. I've seen the first one a few times, but I don't think I've ever seen the second one before now. And that was a pleasant surprise. And I'm like, of course he's a stoner.
About the characters, these definitely stood out a bit more. Funny enough, I actually remembered this one more than the first one.
Interesting.
I don't know why. Whenever I think of this franchise, like my brain goes there first. because
Okay.
I just remember the
Interesting.
island more. I don't know why. Excuse me. But it's a good-ish movie. Like, it's entertaining. There are things that are a bit annoying about it, but on the whole, I mean, it is what it is. It's a slasher flick that you get what you get. I feel like they made it a bit more predictable in this one. Like, if you're paying attention, it's going to be absolutely obvious who the killers are. It's
Yeah, I would agree with that.
but it's a good watch at least. So the kills are varied. It's just they have some funny scenes. It's just, you know me. Like, when you get into certain things, my brain likes to pick it apart, and I'm like, wait a minute. So,
well, yeah, this movie is full of that. I mean, it's not really the sort of movie you can take that seriously. Or,
yeah.
Well, as I feel like they definitely weren't even taking themselves seriously because they're doing a lot of jokes. Like, I really like the part where it's like it sounded like the Brandy's character and Ty were like having intercourse, and really she was just jumping on the bed. And she's like, I want to be able to get a bed to stick. I thought that was really
I'm changing
funny.
my major.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm changing my career path.
I think it's because it was a waterbed, wasn't it? But she's sort of jumping on it like she's a 15-year-old.
No, it was a regular bed. It was just giant.
Was it?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
a
I think
regular
it's
bed.
just because it's so big.
Well, that's even
yeah.
weirder. Yeah, but yeah, no, yeah. Her whole thing was she was acting like she was a teenager, and I tell you what's with her buying a bikini that was like $100 or something? That was the whole thing. But,
Yeah.
and it wasn't even that great a bikini. I mean, it looked.
I can't
fine,
even remember honestly what it looked like.
Oh, don't worry. I'm as the resident male on top of that stuff. This movie pretty much sucks. I mean, I think definitely for the cheese factor, it's a bit more entertaining than the first one. The first one plays it a bit more straight. So I think the first one's a better movie, but overall this one maybe has a bit more of the guilty pleasures about it. And the plot is pretty brain dead, and I felt brain dead watching the plot unfold, and
That's fair.
I questioned my life choices at times. Now I'm a bit on the fence of, the whole twist about them getting the capital of Brazil wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm undecided if that is a master stroke of plotting, or if it just they stumbled. It's so bad. Like, I'm not sure whether it's so good it's bad, or if it's such a clever bit of plotting where they actually put some thought into it. I don't know.
Like, all I could think of, because it's like I don't remember geography very well, and so I didn't even remember the capital of Brazil. But it's like all I could think of after they said that is like someone that did know the capital of Brazil was like, "What the fuck?" Like, just like being so annoyed, like, why? Like, I don't understand, or like immediately like understanding the twist. It's like, yeah.
So that part didn't really hit for me as much, because I'm sitting here, I was questioning the entire time, why would a radio station be calling them?
Yeah.
I know radio stations call people. Like, there's this one that I listened to where okay, I'll be quick, but
And
essentially,
it's funny when
like,
they shout out the radio station as well.
Yeah, that's like, there's this one radio station that will call people after first dates if like the person that they went on a date with is like, oh, they're ghosting me or something, and the radio station will like call them and be like, did you like this person? Do you want to go on another date with them?
Okay,
so, no, it is possible for radio stations to call people.
Okay, well, that makes sense, but they just happen to have this random person's number for a giveaway.
I mean, if they like
Generally
entered or whatever, like,
well, I mean, generally for giveaways, they would be announcing
think-
it on the radio station, and people would call in, and they would pick a random number.
Well, maybe they
Like
just
a random
didn't show
call.
it, but
It depends because it is common for them
So-
to reach out to. It depends. Like, but bottom line is, radio stations do call people. I've listened to multiple radio stations
Yeah.
where they actually like call them. So
yeah.
I hadn't really, especially in that time, like when the movie came out.
I'm definitely
like
So I was
106.1 Kiss FM, they would call people all the time.
Kiss FM.
Yeah, I know.
at the Capitol, and then I looked it up, and it wasn't. I'm like, oh yeah, so
Well, I think the thing
definitely a setup.
Yeah, but I think the thing is, I'm happy to roll with that side because that's the idea is that they're being tricked, so they go on the island.
Yeah.
The only bit I thought was a bit off is the fact that Julie randomly happened to remember her, then it wasn't the capital when they were on the island. It's almost either you know or you don't know. You're probably not going to then remember later on.
Well, the bellhop guy was giving her kind of an odd look when they
Right.
said that they guessed that the capital city
Oh,
of that
true.
place, and then she saw the giant globe, like the world map globe, and decided to look
Yeah.
because everything was off.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Julie's really a strange cat in this movie because I just love the bit of Sarah Michelle Gellar's random cameo by photograph.
Yeah.
You know, the idea that Julie looks at her dead friend's photograph every night and hugs it by the bedside. I mean, if you want to move on, that's probably not the best way to move on, I've got to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
But Sarah Michelle Gellar gets a paycheck out of it at least. About that opening scene, the dream sequence with the priest and the whole... Such a forced way to get the title of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I felt
Yeah.
it was a little cheesy to explain the ending of the last movie as a dream too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, and then the whole
Kinda
setup
hard
about the
to force.
confession and stuff, because it's like,
yeah.
you know, they never brought that up as that being her religion in the first movie, and it
Yeah.
just seemed like very forced.
It
And
did.
then whenever the priest like says it, it's just like like it was just an eye roll moment.
Yep. It was a little too convenient.
Didn't necessarily love Love Hewitt, excuse the
Mhm.
pun, but that the roles could have been reversed with her and Geller.
Yeah.
But I still think Julie was pretty good and she was pretty good. In this, I think she's totally phoning it in. Like, I
Yeah.
think she's lost interest or just taking the paycheck maybe and just not trying in the same way. I thought she was
Yeah.
pretty bad in this one.
Well, it's like I feel like maybe her acting is a part of it, but I feel like her character was written a lot more flatly this
Mm.
time around.
I think so. Once again, I feel like her female counterpart did a better job.
Yeah.
Brandy.
Yeah.
Brandy?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought she was terrible. I thought she couldn't act at all.
She was funny.
No,
She was entertaining.
quite
She was
funny, yeah.
entertaining.
She's a more
Yeah.
interesting character.
Her character was a lot more lively.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that. I mean, obviously, Julie's meant to be the more straight one.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
think,
did like the bartender though. I thought she was fun.
yeah, she
Bartender was relatable.
should have had a bigger role, really, because I quite like that actress, and I think probably on the island, by the time you get there, I think you could have reduced, like, maybe Brandy's role or someone else's role and just give the bartender a bit more.
Yeah, I feel like all of the scenes with Brandy, and especially when it's Brandy and Ty, like it kind of, I know I'm mixing actors and characters' names, but whatever. It's like it did really pull out the cheesiness in the film and
Yeah.
make you remember, like, oh yeah, this is that type of slasher film.
Yeah. Yeah, Jennifer Esposito is the
Oh.
actress who has been in things. I know that name. The guy who was doing the random voodoo, he's been in things. I know that.
Oh, yeah.
Actor. Bill Cobb,
for sure.
sort of a character actor. So there's quite, and as I was saying off air, the sort of grouchy reception guy, played by Jeffrey Combs of Reanimator fame, the legendary Jeffrey Combs.
Judgy desk clerk.
Yeah.
And it's like, or like Jack Black's character, like it was not a great character and very stereotypical, especially for horror movies. But I mean, it's like, especially seeing his acting now, I'm like, he was fully committed to doing that.
Oh,
I feel like he did a good
100%.
job.
He was in it.
Yeah, I think he was in a different movie without doubt. Yeah, he was in. Really like Ty. I thought he was really annoying. He was very one note, and yeah, I didn't really see why anyone gave him the time of day. Like, just
he kind of gave me a little bit of sleazy vibes. Because it's like he seemed more interested at the bar, like with Jennifer's character Julie, and then all of a sudden he's like okay with like hooking up with Brandy's character. As like, okay, it just like that doesn't speak well to his character.
No, I think that's all he was interested in. But I think again, it's one of these random things when. It seems that when the plot called for it, he might come across as like an okay guy, but that was just maybe because he's in the group. But it was just like, he wasn't a very well thought out character. I didn't really buy his part in the group. Stuff with the voodoo guy, like just it's like, okay, he does voodoo.
He takes
Julie's like brush.
Well, it came across more as hoodoo than voodoo, and there's a difference. And there's a difference, and he was using it to try to protect them, like a protection charm.
Yeah, which obviously, when he explained it, made sense. But
like,
I think it's just this over-the-top movie thing of them playing him up as a red herring just because he was messing about with black.
It's like you don't even buy that it's a red herring. You're like, you know what they're trying to do, and you're immediately like, no, that's BS.
Like it was way too obvious. And then they go and mention, oh, someone lost a hair tie, someone lost a toothbrush. Oh, here's my chain, and then say nothing about the fourth guy at all. Like, that's not obvious at all. Thanks. It's just beat you over the head with it. It's
and who did it? Like, no, he knocked out, didn't he? The Ben, was it? Because he, quite late on.
Will Benson.
Yeah, and I guess that was okay because it was, he sort of knew that he was crooked. He was bad, so. That was an okay reveal when you realized
made him
what
immediately.
No, I did as well, but I just I don't mind that scene in context because it's
that makes sense.
Cottoned on to what he was doing.
Yeah,
he gave him a good old cricket back to the head. About Freddie Prinze Jr. in the movie, he felt quite disconnected for a lot of it. A lot of his stuff was. He had some random action movie type lines. He was sort of played a lot like that in this movie. And I just love how convoluted the plot got with him first of all getting sidetracked on the road and then him trying to get Julie a wedding ring to try and very random stuff.
I don't know what the heck happened with that. Like if they had an intern writing his part of the movie or what, but it's like it was just very weird and disconnected.
All over the place. Like the very beginning when he was all upset with her seemed very forced and Like when she wouldn't go back to the town where their friends were murdered and they were almost murdered. Like,
Yeah.
Bit off, wasn't it?
a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
okay. And then, yeah, the whole thing with the fake accident and him getting run off the road, that he runs straight down instead of running into the trees to escape a truck.
That I did find it funny how it's like he goes back to Southport and immediately one of his coworkers is like, "Here's some kiss fishes. Let's make them kiss." It's like, what the heck?
It's
like,
that
I wonder
work
if
friend.
that's what fishermen actually do with their time.
Is that the friend who he goes with to the
Yeah.
film?
Yeah.
John Hawkes, that actor.
Yeah, the one that gets killed in the truck. Yeah.
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 Yeah, there were so many plot things like that where it was like, yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, with him having the ring, I'm like, you were so ununderstanding of her situation and not very like caring or supportive or loving in any way. But he's like, I got her a ring.
This will make up for it.
Yeah, it's like,
Sure.
no, yeah, it just
Well,
I
I think it did, unfortunately, because she seemed to go with it by the end of the movie.
Yeah, he did end up getting it back from the pawn shop, it looked like, but yeah.
he didn't earn it, I feel like.
She was the one that shot the guy.
Yeah.
He brought the gun. He delivered the gun. That was it.
Yeah.
I did appreciate her like standing over him and being like, is he really dead? And just like, waiting a bit. Because honestly, I was half expecting him to like pop back up, be like, whoa, and then like her have to like shoot him again.
Yeah, that's sort of her scream moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Also, just to prove there was a bit of tongue in cheek, she also repeated the scene from the first movie when she was out in the rain. She did another version of "What Are You Waiting For?"
Yeah, I was like, really? They're doing this again? It didn't work in the first one, and they're doing it again in the second one. Yeah.
Well, they know how I.
They want continuity.
Yeah. What about, just to pick another plot hole, because I mean, what else are you going to talk about in this movie? What about the whole karaoke scene? It's like, how does that work? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was thinking about that too, because like if he did manipulate the screen, it's like, first of all, all of that's like so I don't even know why that'd be I don't know. It was like, instead of having just the scene where it's like, oh, there's a body, now there's not, just like they did in the first movie, is like, oh, now we gotta mix it up and make it seem like Julie's going crazy even though we know she's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's like, if you're going to play on her friends like thinking that she's crazy, or her like feeling crazy, like really play up that, make the audience wonder, is she actually going crazy? She has a lot of trauma, so no one would blame her if she's actually like hallucinating or whatever. And then they like pull the spin like, oh no, it's actually a real killer. But it's like the way that they did it was just like so gimmicky.
Yeah. You want to talk gimmicky? Let's talk how tall that closet has to be for a body to drop that far. Like, it wasn't in sight at all, and then it drops from where?
From the ether.
That's a good question. Yeah, it's been a week since I've seen the film, so it's been too long.
It dropped. I'm like, where in the hell was that?
Thought the kills were pretty bad. Like, they were quite forgettable.
Yeah.
Nothing really stood out. I think basically by the end of the film, I was a bit more into it because things were sort of ratcheting up a bit more. And I think I just enjoyed how over the top and cheesy it was. But for a lot of the movie, like you said, it was just so randomly put together and cheesy and quite forgettable kills.
And I could be wrong, but it did feel like the killer or killers in this movie seemed to kill a little bit more indiscriminately than they did in the previous one.
Oh, definitely. The last one at least seemed like it had mostly a purpose.
Yeah, because I know I guess the the Leonard actor guy.
he was.
I mean, he
was a
didn't
bit
really have
random.
to die.
Yeah,
Was that the deckhand?
yeah,
yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know. In this movie, I at least noticed the indiscriminate kills a lot more
it was
I was
everyone. Everyone was on the
Yeah,
chopping
yeah.
block. Because why not?
Yeah. I feel like it would have been really cool to play. Like, now that I talked about it out loud, I think it would have been really cool for them to have a movie where there really was no killer and Julie was just like hallucinating or going through her trauma. But like have the audience second guess, or have where they like really play up the situation of like having the audience like second guess, is like, is it a real killer? Is she hallucinating? And then they're like, surprise, it's actually a killer. But yeah, it's just it was very
maybe play
lackluster.
that out a bit more.
Yeah,
get
it was
you
just a little
guessing.
bit too. Yeah, it was just a bit too obvious, too on the nose, and too gimmicky. But
Yeah,
I feel like, like we said on the characters, like I feel like the characters were definitely more interesting, not necessarily more lovable, but at least they stuck out to me more than the first one. But I will say, like, the jump
Okay.
scare at the end of the movie was very lackluster. That one
Yeah.
was a huge eye roll, like, really.
Yes.
Again.
Yeah.
Is it a dream again?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think because of the first one, you maybe assume it is, but it's sort of, in a way, we don't have that answer because she
Right.
didn't come back for another movie. There is a third movie which she's not in, and no one from this movie is in. So
Yeah, it's almost a reboot.
yeah, I don't know much about it, but I will be watching it soon.
I think I might have watched it.
I'll always know.
I don't
what you did
remember.
last time.
Yeah, I don't remember much about it, which doesn't bode well.
Doesn't bode well. No.
Doesn't bode well.
No, this series is in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the first movie was definitely better, but this one I feel like was slightly more entertaining.
That's fair. I think I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the antics and what have you. So, Alyssa, we'll start with you. What are you going to rate I Still Know What You Did Last Summer?
Oh man. I'm thinking like a solid, like, I'm dancing between a 5 or a 6. I think I'm going to do a 6, just because I'm not mad that I watched it, and it is above a neutral for me, where it's like, I was entertained and it is slightly memorable. So, it is lackluster, but it is what it is. And it's just a slasher, and I enjoyed the campiness of it. So
Okay, fair enough. Jess?
I am aware that some of my rating is influenced by nostalgia, but I give it a 6.5.
Okay. Okay. Well, it's a 3 for me. That's about it. It's a 3 out of 10.
I kind of figured, honestly.
Yeah, I didn't play my cards close. I think with the caveat, then, like you said, it is because the first one's definitely better, but I think this one again has a bit more of a cheesy factor going on.
Oh yeah,
it's a little bit more entertaining, and you don't have to take it. I think the first one takes itself a bit too seriously, so it's a little bit boring as a result.
yeah.
But, so this one is maybe more entertaining bad, like we said, but the first one is actually a better movie. But it's like, yeah. And the whole twist with it being Benson, was it Benson?
yeah,
that's so cringe.
Yes.
And his father is the least convincing killer. Like, there's just no menace from him.
Yeah.
Just no menace.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll go 3 out of 10. I think for me, Jeffrey Combs, as I said, was definitely the highlight. I thought his dialogue was very entertaining, and he sort of knew what film he was in. And probably, like, if I went for a second favorite character, it might be the bartender, Jennifer Esposito. I thought she was pretty feisty and on the ball, and should have been in the movie a bit more. So
Yeah.
Before we wrap up today, we did actually look at the trailer for the new movie, which is going to come out in July. So we're getting quite close to it now. So if you guys just want to do a few thoughts on it before we wrap up.
I'm cautiously optimistic.
I am.
I will say that I like the fact that they, in the trailer, they already showed the killer using a different weapon than just the hook, and it's still like fisherman themed. The harpoon or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
it's a weapon that makes sense.
Yeah. I do find it interesting, though, that they did call back to the original movie, but they're setting up, it sounds like they're setting up the situation to be exactly the same. So it's like, it's kind of a reboot, but kind of also like a sequel. So
It's like next gen.
yeah.
Mm.
So I don't know how I feel about that. It kind of depends on how they play it out. But
Yeah, it depends on how they do it.
Yeah, so it's like I'm going to try and go into it with as neutral of a standpoint as possible. But I mean, you know, from both the last review and this one, I feel like all of us aren't super excited about this franchise. So it's like I feel like we can hopefully only go up from here.
We'll see. Well, there's like Keith said earlier, there's another movie after this one before the new one.
So we'll see. But I hope they do it justice and they make it at least you know, they go hard either with it being serious or it being campy. It sounds like they're going a little bit more on the serious route. And I just, as long as it's not boring and they're not rehashing the same thing that we've already seen, then I'll probably be pleased, but we'll see.
Yeah, there'll probably be some Easter egg for fans, but as long as they don't go too crazy with that stuff. And I think that's what I feel. I think potentially, you know, maybe by the standards of the series, it could be one of the better comeback movies. It just depends if they've got the right ingredients. And
I'm hoping that they didn't show some of the best scenes in the trailer. Because that happens a lot.
Yeah. I've got to say, Jennifer Love Hewitt really ages with grace as well.
She does.
She's very nice, very graceful. And they've also got Freddie Prinze Jr. back, so he's back. He hasn't been in anything for years, but yeah, it wasn't too bad a trailer. The voiceover was quite funny, and yeah, no, it wasn't bad. Like, obviously, I didn't get much of a sense of like the characters outside of the returning characters. It's a bit hard until you see the actual movie to know how good they're going to be.
Yeah, it's like, at least from what I saw from the boyfriend and girlfriend characters, like they do seem like they might be a little bit flat, which makes me concerned. But who knows? Maybe they'll have some scenes that expand them out a little bit more.
It could be the boyfriend is just the flat character because he's one of the first to die.
Could be.
We shall see.
Or it could just be the scene taken out of context.
Yeah, I just want them to bring something new to the table.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
But considering it's also this franchise, like, that's cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, they came across as quite generic in the trailer, but it was quite a brief trailer and we didn't get that much of them, so
There are other horror movies coming out, though, that are definitely more interest-grabbing than this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I don't know if I should subject you to the third movie. Maybe we'll get that answer next time.
I
Might
haven't
as
seen
well.
the third one, so I mean, like, I'm game.
I mean,
gotta
might
tick
as
that
well.
box. Yeah,
just finish it.
finish it all. Yeah. Okay, Alyssa, do your thing. The thing you do every month.
We'll see. Hopefully, I do a better job this time around than last time. So, if you are interested in seeing more of me and Jess's content, we like to review horror movies, play scary games, and obsess over our favorite teas. Kind of our goal and hope is to build a horror community that can initiate discussions on what makes a great horror movie to push the film industry to improve, innovate, and create more scary movies that people love. And you can find us on YouTube at Horror Movie Tea or Twitch at Horror Movie Tea. So,
Whoa, impressive! That's your best one yet. And
thank you.
See what happens when I make her prepare?
I did the homework assignment,
and I felt
5 minutes
I felt
before.
the poetry of it as well.
and
Jess,
glad
I
we could
think-
move you.
Jess, I think you've got a Teespring, right? If you want to tell them about that.
Yeah, we have a Teespring for our channel. And Alyssa can send the link and all. You can link it down below. But it's got different merchandise. There's shirts, there's wall art, there's mugs, there's bags, there's pillows there for those in the know. Spoon.
Oh, I didn't know you had pillows.
There's all kinds of stuff in there that and hopefully we'll have some new stuff soon because we need to update with some more recent.
It's been a hot minute.
It has been a hot minute, but we need to update with some more recent inside jokes and things. That's usually what a lot of the stuff is from.
Oh yeah, like 99. It's not 100% of our merch is like inside jokes that have happened. Mostly from the streams, but some of it's
usually the streams. Episodes. But yes, there's a couple from the podcast episodes, like our sister mugs. I'm going to kill you at some point, or one of them says that, and then the other mug says, "Please don't kill me." So we have those. We've got a whole bunch of Spoon merchandise.
Nice.
I'm a woman of convenience line for Alyssa. The I'm filled with caffeine and spite line for me. We have V's band line.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, I made a whole line for V that's just banned.
You're just reselling our merch because I'm like, man, I need to get some of our merch.
Yeah. There's a whole like loading bar for percentage banned.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of cool stuff to check out there.
Yeah, I need to get a new cup from you guys because I smashed the last one.
Oh no,
man!
Sorry, it's like
oh no,
it was a total accident. Like, just slipped out of my hand. So
it sucks.
Wow, those are usually pretty
I watched,
durable too. That's surprising.
Yeah, I watched it die in front of me.
It was a fatality.
Yeah, it was. It had a good run, though. It had a good run.
Well, I feel like we have some jokes that happened from some of the recordings that we've done with you. We should make a mug that is from one of those, and then you should get it. That'd be so fun.
Should make a line for Keith.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm up for that. Okay. Thanks, everyone, and yeah, I guess we'll probably be back next time with the third movie to get ready for the fourth movie that's coming out later this year. And thanks, Jess and Alyssa. Like and subscribe. Look out for more horror content. Look out for more TV content. I actually have a Stranger Things live stream planned for later in the week, early in the week. Enough with the dark and stormies. Good night, everyone.
Mark in the morning for Magic 96.7 Radio.
Oh my God! Yes.
Just one magic.
Yes.
Oh, wait, quick, get away.
After what happened last summer,
We are going to the Bahamas. Nobody deserves a vacation more than Julie James.
We have arrived in paradise.
And here, miles from civilization,
To a great weekend.
Yeah, to a great weekend for
she's finally gotten away from it all.
I should have changed that stupid lock. I should have made you leave the key. If I'd have known for just 1 second, you'd be back to bother me. Don't know the lyrics. Hold on. He did something to the screen. I said, "What are you talking about?"
But she can never escape her past.
It's happening again.
What?
Because there are some secrets
There was a body in there. Cool. I am not going crazy. He's here.
Who is here?
and there are some fears
Hey, Julie, you see any dead bodies out there?
2 summers ago, we hit Ben Willis with our car and then we threw his body in the water. Can you not tell me the whole story? I'm your best friend.
that will haunt her forever.
I want off this island.
That's not possible.
This time,
We're all gonna die! It's gonna kill us one by one!
there's no getting away.
Come on!
Let it go!
If you want me, Ben, come and get me! I'm right here! He's out there.
I still know what you did last summer. Get hooked again.
Baby, you okay? Why don't you go upstairs and do that guided meditation you like?
Thank you. Find a peaceful setting and close your eyes. Imagine a white light calling you.
Hello?
Now, feel that love entering your body and emanating out from your chest. Take a deep breath in and remember the energy you give to the universe always comes back to you.
Do you think this is some kind of karma for what we did? What if someone saw what happened?
You need to handle this. This isn't the first time there's been violence like this in Southport. It's not going to stop.
I need to start drinking. Someone is coming after us. I need your help. I just have one question. What did you do last summer?
This place is so beautiful, it makes me want to die.